Hi. Okay, I am in Uncle Johnny's hostel in Irwin. We are going to head to Damascus tomorrow for trail days. But in the meantime, I thought I would let you know a couple of things that I've learned so far along the way. So a few little tips and mistakes that I've made that could be helpful. I've written them down kind of as a essay. I'm gonna try and be concise. So number one, when you're on the trail, be efficient with your water. So try not to carry litres and litres at a time because you're just going to add to your weight. What I try and do is get to a water source, chug a litre of water, fill a litre of water and take that on. Of course, obviously it depends on how far away you are from the next water source, so you've got to plan it out, but the general rule is plan your water sources out so you're not carrying more than a litre at a time. In some cases you can't do that, but when I first started I was panicking about water so much that I would just carry like more weight. It adds pounds. Two, next one, you categorically do not need hiking boots. You don't need them. You don't. Trail runners will suffice. I brought boots. They're too big, they're too heavy, you can't feel the ground properly, your feet get so hot. In my runners, if they get wet, my feet are so hot in the day that they dry out anyway, unless of course it's torrential rain, or if it's snowing. If you started earlier than me, I started on the 8th of April, so if you start earlier than me, one year and it's still snowing a lot, then you might need boots for that, but you're going to end up sending them home. I guarantee that you will end up sending them home. So it could be better to have trail runners with thicker socks for when it's cold and then switch out to thinner socks. Which brings me on to my next one. So I'm going to slightly contradict myself here, but it's only, you do not need thick ass socks unless it's really cold and you don't want to wear boots, so you're going to wear it with your runners, for the last point. But you do not need really thick fat socks, because again your feet are going to swell in your shoes and it's going to compress your feet and it's going to feel sore and sweaty, and then your feet will get itchy, get athlete's foot. This is what I found. This is all what I found. Of course it could be different for you, but I'm just trying to give some advice. By the way, the aircon's very noisy. Should I switch it off? No, I like it. I like it. Sorry, I just have to deal with it. Yeah, so I got thinner socks. I mean, you might want a thick pair to sleep in, but I wouldn't hike in big, thick, chunky socks. Girls or guys, if you bring shorts, don't bring the shorts with the elasticated insides. Bring the ones that kind of go down your thigh. They have booty shorts like within them rather than the elasticated stuff. It hurts a lot to hike in that all day, especially when it's hot. So either girls just wear booty shorts instead of running shorts with the elastic, or find some running shorts that have like the booty shorts within them, because trust me, I've learnt the hard way that hurts. Okay, so this is a topic of controversy. Ultralight. If you can afford it, because I've felt other people's stuff, if you can afford it, it's so worth getting the ultralight gear. But say you could only afford either an ultralight pack or ultralight gear, then go for the gear, because if you get an ultralight pack and you can't afford the ultralight gear, then it's not, the packs aren't meant to withstand heavy gear, so you'd have to get both. So get a heavier pack and then get some ultralight gear if you can't afford both of them. It will affect your mood, your energy, your performance, and your overall experience. Like, it will positively affect it exponentially, because I have felt people's packs who have ultralight gear, and I'm beyond jealous, because I would consider myself a pretty strong person, and some days are really, honestly, really, really tough. And I threw away unnecessary items. I'm down to my necessities now, and there's not much more I can do until it gets hot enough that I can get rid of a liner, or I might get a thinner liner, and from there, that is me doing all I can within my budget to make my pack as light as possible. And some days are very hard, and I can tell that they're much easier and more enjoyable for people that have lighter gear. So if you can, do it. If you can't, like me, you just can't afford all of that, then really think so carefully and so hard about what you put in your pack, because if you're carrying extra stuff and you're adding more weight to a pack that's already heavy and equipment that's already heavy, it's not worth, like, it really, really isn't worth it. And that's a big point that I need to make. Ensure that before you leave wherever you're going, that you really insist to your family and friends that there are some times when you may not have signal to even let them know that you're okay for a week. So probably more like 5 days, 4 days, but it can be up to a week at times. And I feel like mine said, oh, okay, yeah, but they really didn't understand. So again, that's a, make sure they know before you leave, or carry some sort of GPS thing if they're that paranoid. Point number 6. I've got a few more. Yeah. Number 7, you need to just accept that you are going to be eating crap 90% of the time. You need to prepare yourself for that. So when you get into town, try and plan to eat as healthy as possible, because you need nutrients. But it's so tempting to get into town and just be like, I want burger, I want chips, fries. Yeah, so you really need to accept that, because a lot of the healthier food is heavier, and you need, to be honest, you need a lot of calories and crap and sugar and stuff to keep you going. This is invest in a decent sleeping pad. I've seen loads of people with the thick Thermarest pad. It feels amazing. It's so thick and it's really good for side sleepers. I've sat on one. Mine's a Cedar Summit, but it's got like the pockets. I've got that because I'm a hammocker, but it's actually okay on hard floors, but when you're on your side, it's like, my hips hurt sometimes, so you'd have to be a back sleeper if you wanted to have that. But the Thermarest one seems to be one that everyone has, but I'm more talking for warmth, because I've seen people try and really scrimp on the sleeping pads and they've been really, really cold, especially towards the beginning because it was a bit colder. So sleeping, yeah, again, this leads me on to stories about shelters. I was absolutely horrified by all these stories about dirtiness and rats and blah 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 blah, and I was convinced I was never going to be in a shelter, and actually I love them. So yeah, I learnt that I love shelters, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. Smokies were fine. I heard lots of like, there's vermin everywhere, there's a few mice, like I didn't see. I don't know whether the people telling these stories are people who leave food all over the place and have food in their packs, and their packs get eaten through because they've left food in there and it's their own fault. I don't really know, but I didn't really see. There's a few mice around. Oh yeah. Take plenty of snack breaks in the day to keep your energy levels up. Don't try not to feel pressured to push through and push through and push through until you make yourself exhausted. Take breaks plenty, often, little snacks, or keep snacks in your pocket so you can eat them as you go along. Really important, because you've got big mile days and it's so tempting to be like, oh, just carry on for another half an hour, just carry on for another hour or a few miles, or da-da-da, and before you know it, you've worked yourself, like run yourself ragged. Oh, big one. As soon as you feel a hot spot on your foot, take your shoes off, let your feet air out, give your feet a bit of a rub. If you have water nearby, give them a soak downstream so people aren't drinking it. People might tell me off for saying that anyway, but when you're out here, I'm sorry, you need to soak your feet now and again. And the very last one is, you can work out all you want. You can look aesthetically pleasing as you like. You can have abs, you can have muscles, you can have all this going on, but when it doesn't mean anything when you get out here. It really doesn't mean anything unless you are hiking with a heavy pack a lot before you get out here. You will hurt, and you will have days where it's really, really, really hard, and you're boiling and you're sweating, or you're freezing and you're soaking, and your knees hurt and your ankles hurt and your feet are burning. Being fit don't mean shit out here, in a way. Obviously you're gonna have a little bit of a better time than someone that's completely deconditioned, but do not just think, I'm going to the gym so it's gonna be cool. That's a lesson that I've learned. It ain't cool, it's still hard. Brilliant, brutal, enjoyable, but don't expect to have a walk in the park just because you go to the gym. And that is what I've learned so far. So if you've got anything else for me, let me know. I might make some additions because I feel like I'm learning every day something new, a new lesson. Some of these are from other people as well, but I made 12 points there. I think maybe 2 are from other people. So if you have any yourself, hit me up. And now I'm gonna nap because I'm so tired, and I feel like there's so much to do all the time that I'm like, oh, I'll go over here, I'll go over here, I'll go over here, and I don't, especially when I'm in town. I sleep better in the woods than I do when I'm in town because I get FOMO. So okay, thanks guys, bye.